So why do I like drones? Why do I like flying? It's just so relaxing. It sort of takes your mind off things and you get to see things from a new perspective. I think the most important thing is to be able to enjoy what you're actually doing. And in doing so, getting out into the open air, finding new spots that you would have never actually seen unless you sort of had a helicopter or a plane ride. The drone allows you to do that, especially when you've got very little restriction, should I say. And those restrictions sort of include flying up to like 120 meters. So, I always enjoy it, but it's always a bit of a scary thought because the winds movement up there in the higher altitudes are actually a lot worse than what it is sort of down here. When I bought the Mavic Pro back in 2017, I really kind of wanted it to be able to go out and get some amazing shots and pictures, but I wanted something that was actually going to be half decent. So I bought what was the flagship model, which was the Mavic Pro, and I bought the Fly More kit. It was around about $2,200, I would estimate, based on the price, including other accessories, the SD card as well as the landing pad. And I tell you what, it's exciting, it's also scary at the same time. Those times that you take your drone and you fly it out in a little bit windy conditions that you probably shouldn't be flying out in. I've also gone ahead, I think the first time I flew it over water after getting a little bit of confidence, I was like, that's a bit scary because I would have no idea what to do if it actually landed in the water. So, but I had one incident where the actual drone did come out of the sky. Basically, I took it up on a school camp and, everything was fine, no issues, charged battery, all the rest of it. And it was up for just about 89 seconds. I was about 15 or so meters up and it just came down. It just lost power. The whole thing just smashed. So a few years ago I decided let's get some training under my belt because you can't sell images and media content without actually having a commercial license. So I looked around and it was around about 2,700 to 3,300 and it was a full 5-day course. And I'm like, that's way more than the drone. So I decided, okay, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to wait and have a look around to see if there's any specials that do come up. And one actually did. And I jumped on it and it was $1,500 and it was a hybrid. So essentially it was 3 equivalent days of study and then 2 days of testing and practice and competency demonstration. I had to go ahead and learn about weather, aerodynamics, sort of maintenance and care, some of the legal issues as well as understanding what is CASA and their regulations, along with sort of mapping and a few other things. And that was really helpful and informative. And we had to do the testing, of course, for each one of the different modules. We had to do one of the main ones in person. And so they actually had a guy fly out from Queensland to come and meet us, and we did it basically in the library in the city. And then, the next day we went out and we flew. So we flew a lot, basically with different drones on different settings, just to make sure that we could actually fly them. And I thought to myself, this is actually something that I have never actually done before, and it's a little bit tedious because literally you're just, learning how to maneuver back and forth. You're learning how to bring down the drone without a huge amount of turbulence, and a few other maneuvers to keep it safe. Now I almost crashed the drone that day because it was an unfamiliar drone, so I was using a Phantom 4, I think it was. Which I haven't used before. They're a lot more sturdier, but they're a lot heavier, and when they actually, they go, it takes a little bit of time just for them to slow down once you release your hands off the triggers. And I also got to fly a matrice, birds of prey, trying to attack it as well, which is always a bit of fun. I think one of the fun parts of it is actually going ahead, loading it onto your computer, and seeing the actual images that you've actually captured. And hopefully if you did everything right with your settings and all the rest of it, you'll get some pretty amazing shots, and you can be sort of proud to say, that was a good experience, that was a good day, that was worth the trip to go wherever you needed to go. And so I think those sort of aspects are one of the reasons why I continue to do drone flying, and hopefully we'll do it into the future in whatever capacity that may look like.